All right, y'all. Next, I want to bring up Assembly Member Alex Boris. Y'all, it's been a long day. I'll bring up Council Member Chris Bartet.
I take that as a compliment. Alex Boris is a really good-looking guy. Yeah. I want to pick up where Council Member Tiffany Caban led off. We got to thank Brad Lander because he's not doing this because it's election year. He's been doing this before he was a council member almost 20 years ago, fighting for underserved communities and making sure that immigrants and vulnerable communities have a voice in our city. And so thank you, Brad. I know he can hear us. Let's make some noise for Brad. And I'll tell you this, regardless of what happens in a few days, 2 weeks from now, 3 years from now, Brad Lander is still going to be fighting for immigrants, period. I know a lot of my colleagues have said this, but right now, none of us are safe. Whether you came here today, or if you are a citywide elected official, you are not safe. What we are facing is something we have not seen in my generation and probably anyone's generation who is standing here today. And so the regular tactics aren't going to work. We are going to have to stand up. We're going to have to put our body on the line like Brad Lander did a few hours ago. So if you're a lawyer, stand up. If you're an artist, use your art to make noise. If you're a community organizer, educate, teach, and organize. But if you're none of the above, show up. Learn your rights. Teach other people their rights. Because as we saw today, and as we've been seeing almost every single day, this is a life and death situation. Many people come here because they are fearing death. That's right. Not just for themselves, but for their newborn, for their grandparents. They're risking everything to live in peace. But they came to a country now where that is on the verge. When they wake up and go to work, they have no confidence that the same dangers they face back home, they're going to fear today. And so it's on us, not just elected officials, not just community organizers, but everyday New Yorkers to do what we got to do to save one another. And finally, I want to thank all of you, because in a moment's notice, hundreds of New Yorkers came here. Thousands of New Yorkers said this wasn't right. That's right. And in a few days, we can decide whether we want someone who's willing to put their body on the line for every New Yorker, or someone who's just going to tweet and not show up. That's the decision that we have. Let's vote for the person that shows up. Thank you.
Give it up for Councilmember Chris Bartet. All right, for folks that are just joining us, I see the crowd is growing. We love to see it. Let's stay safe out there. We have water and snacks and ponchos going around too. So we're going to be here until Brad gets released. Am I right? Yeah. All right. Next, we're going to hear from State Senator Kristen Gonzalez.
Yeah. All right, y'all. How are we feeling today? If you're mad, let me hear some noise. If you're ready to stand up to a fascist administration, let me hear some noise. And if you want the state legislature next session to pass New York for All, let me hear you use it. It is such an honor and a privilege to stand with each and every one of you. right now, every New Yorker needs to pay attention because this is serious. This is not democracy. This is fascism. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your status is.
That's
but
right.
democracy affects all of us.
Yes!
So this fight is a fight today for Brad. It's a fight for our immigrant communities, but it is part of a broader movement. It is a movement that is what will stand between our protecting our democracy and allowing a fascist Trump administration to take a sledgehammer to it. When I see each and every one of you here today, I know that we have what it takes because this is the start of a longer fight.
Yes!
This is an urgent moment where we invite every person to join us because it will be long and it will be hard. But the reason that they have, and I just came from 26 Federal Plaza, where they have 25 armed guards by the elected officials and immigrant New Yorkers. And the reason why they're sending the National Guard across the country is because they're scared of us. They're scared of what we are doing here today because they know that when we organize, we have what it takes to win. So I know I'm not going to stop, y'all. I know you're not going to stop. I know New York is a city of fighters. New York is a city of immigrants. And New York is a city that doesn't back down from the fight. Thank you all so much for having us. And with that, abolish ICE!
We are the people too. A little bit louder, free. We want ICE out of New York. One. We are the people too. A little bit louder, free. We want ICE out of New York. One. We are the people too. A little bit louder, free. We want ICE out of New York. One.
We are the people!
Two.
A little bit louder!
Three.
We want ICE out of New York!
Get up, Next of all, we're going to bring up former Assembly Member Michael Blake. Trump and his garbage-ass ICE continues to break the law,
That's right!
continues to deny us who we are as a people.
That's right!
I start by reminding folks, my name is Michael Alexander Blake. I'm a son of Jamaican immigrants. And every single one of us need to be pissed the fuck off of what just happened today. Because it's not just what happened to Brad and those that were there that's wrong. It's not just what happens in LA is wrong.
That's right!
It's a fascist government
Yes!
that is trying to create fear for every single one of us
That's right! Yes!
for standing up for what is right.
Yes!
Let's be very clear. Brad asked the very obvious question. Why are you doing this? You don't have a judicial warrant.
That's right!
And now they have the nonsense of saying in a tweet that Brad assaulted them. Now let's just say this real clear. I know Trump and his goons make shit up all the time.
That's right! Liars!
Brad didn't insult anybody, he stood up for the people. And what you are watching right now, every single one of us as New Yorkers are saying enough is enough.
Yeah!
Dr. King has a quote that has always stayed with me. He says, in the end, we remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.
That's right!
You do not get to have the luxury of being silent in this moment.
Yes!
For any of us, current and former as electeds, we're here to say we won't be silent.
That's right.
And I remind people that as a reverend as well, we're going to set the record straight. Immigrants
have always been providing greatness. Immigrants have always been changing the game. Immigrants have always been impacting the people for the best. We will not allow Trump and his nonsense to turn us around of who we are. We are New Yorkers. We are Americans. 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 We will not back down. We are here right now.
Say hello to the drone.
In this moment, I am reminded of a quote that Brad likes to say a lot. It's not his own, but he quotes it. And it is that they can cut down all the flowers, but they cannot stop the spring from coming.
For the mayoral election.
Next, I'd like to bring up WFP endorsed City Council Member, President of the Bay Ridge Democrats, Kayla Santososo.
How we doing?
Yes.
When I say free, you say Brad. Free.
Brad.
Free.
Brad.
Free.
Brad.
Free.
Brad.
Free them all!
I want to be clear about something. Free them all.
Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all.
Free them all!
I want to be clear about something. If you know Brad Lander, you know he would have done that whether or not he was running for mayor, whether or not the cameras were on him, whether or not it was posted on social media, because that's who Brad is. So you're going to hear cynical people. You're going to hear cynical people say, oh, he did that because he was running for mayor, and we're not going to believe that, are we? No! We know that Brad was there because he cared about the people who were showing up today for their court appointments, who were doing what they were supposed to be doing, and still walked into those courtrooms not knowing what was going to happen afterwards, not knowing if they were going to leave freely or if they were going to be in handcuffs. And Brad was not going to let that happen. And I was up there in 26 Federal Plaza on the 12th floor with some of your council members who are standing in front of you. And we were watching them to see what would happen. And let me tell you, if I'm honest, my heart was pounding. I was terrified for them. There were 4 people sitting in front of this judge who had no idea what was going to happen to them afterwards. And I was terrified that we were not going to be able to stop that from happening. But as Councilmember Caban said, the judge looked out and saw 20 people sitting in her courtroom and dismissed that motion.
That's right.
And that is the kind of bravery that we require from elected officials.
Yes!
Okay? Maybe that gets by somewhere else. Maybe you can run for office somewhere else and not show that kind of bravery in this moment. But does that satisfy us here?
No!
Is New York going to let Trump and his cronies and his ICE cowboys take our people away?
No!
Are we going to let that happen?
No!
Thank you so much.
Keep Cuomo unemployed!
That's
Keep
right!
Cuomo unemployed!
Will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Next, we're going to bring up Susan Lerner from Cody Cause.
So look around, because we are the people.
That's
And we
right!
are the people they are afraid of.
That's
We are
right!
Americans, and we have one expectation. Government, what? Of, by, and for the people. And when they take our elected officials, and when they take our neighbors, they are trying to deny us our constitutional rights.
That's
And to
right.
destroy government. What? Of, by, and for the people. So we stand up
and we look to the right, and we look to the left, and we know we are the ones who we have been waiting for. We are the ones, when they come for one, they come for all.
That's right!
We are Americans, and we will not be denied our rights. Government of, by, and for the people. We elected Brad. We're going to protect Brad. We're not going home until we have Brad. And when we go home, we're going to tell our friends and neighbors, we stand for America and all that's best. Government of, by, and for the people.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, the power of the people don't stop.
Keep it going, yo. All right. Next, we're gonna bring up Robbie Rugbeer, who was with Brad at the time of the arrest.
I was actually with Brad before he got arrested, and he had already accompanied 6 people out of the building. This was not a campaign thing for him. This was what he was doing for many weeks, many days. He and his wife have been going into immigration court regularly to accompany people out of the building so they are safely connected to their families. Coming back to what Michael said, Michael Blake, what he said about the fear. This is about fear, but it's not about fear of the immigrants, because we have always lived in fear. We have always been afraid of tomorrow because we don't know if it will be taken away.
Shame!
Shame, that's correct. This is shameful. But now it's not just about the fear in us that they want to instill. They want to instill in the fear in you. I want to repeat that. They want to make you afraid of everything, every step that you take, because you are afraid that you will get arrested.
That's right!
So when they use this immigration issue in such an evil way, they know you will stand up because we are New Yorkers, right?
Yeah.
We are New Yorkers. We are New Yorkers, and we will stand up for our community.
Yes!
And when you stand up for it, that's why they wear the freaking mask.
That's right,
Right?
cowards!
They want you to think, they think we are going to be intimidated by the freaking mask.
No!
We are not going to allow them to come into our communities with that mask, because you are a thug, and you should not be working in our community.
That's right!
Because we are New Yorkers, right? We are New Yorkers? We are New Yorkers. So when Brad was in there and they arrested him, when Congresswoman McIver in New Jersey, when Mayor Baraka was arrested, when Senator Padilla was beaten, right? It's all about showing this agency is a rogue agency.
Yeah.
A rogue agency that does not have oversight and control. They do not have control. Imagine Congress people are being arrested in interacting with them. Senators are getting arrested, which means they have no respect for our congressional community or legislative bodies. Do you think they have respect for us?
No!
No, they don't. But we will make them have respect for us. We need to stand up. We need to be here every day. We need to stop people from getting deported. And you heard from the earlier speakers about the expedited removal, right? It's another technical loophole that they are using to threaten us and to remove 3,000 people a day. 3,000 people, 3,000 families. That's how horrific these. And we are not talking about adults only. We have been in immigration court with the juveniles. They are taking children away.
Shame!
What we want to do is we want to go into our communities we want to create a hood, like a neighborhood, but a sanctuary hood, where we will stop ICE. If you are coming into our space, we will be there to stop you. We will lock our doors, we will ask for warrants, but more importantly, we will stop you from taking our people away. That's the sanctuary hood. And in doing so, we will talk to the people who have to go to court, and we will work with them so they are not afraid, not only to go in, but we will stop them from being taken away with ICE. Again, this is not about immigration. This is about you. This is about you being afraid. This is about them taking away your rights. That's right. You know, you have the Real ID Act where you have to, all of you have to register, right? You all have to know that you are standing up for yourselves and stop the FBI mass, the ICE mass. They are not, should not be working in our community. That's right. Unless they identify themselves. Yes. Because we are New Yorkers. 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 We are New Yorkers.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. We're going to have Yuli New, former Assembly Member Yuli New come up next. I'm a little out of practice, but I wanted to tell people about Ravi. Because, you know, people don't know that somebody...
Speaking of the mic!
Can you guys hear me?
Yes!
I was screaming a lot, so I've lost my voice, so I apologize. It's not because I'm not speaking into the mic. Ravi actually had his own case. People don't know that this man is so brave that he actually comes day after day, after winning his own case, every single day to protect other immigrants. And that's why we have to fight for Ravi. We have to fight for people like Ravi, and we have to fight for Brad, right? Brad knew that he had the privilege as an elected, as a city comptroller, to be able to be safely representative of our city.
That's right.
In order to fight for the people who had no rights.
Yeah.
He did this day after day. And as other people have said already, he doesn't do this as a show. He didn't do this because he's running for mayor. He does this every day with Jay French. Jay French, the people who have been every single day doing court watch, we need your help, by the way. Everybody here, every single person here who has the ability to go with Jay French and with other people like IARC and other amazing organizations that Trump is currently defunding right now and preventing from funding. We know that there's been huge retrenchment from foundations. People are not allowed to fund our organizations that are helping immigrants. And we need to make sure that people have attorneys, that they have the ability to fight back. And we need to make sure that our elected officials are standing in front of our immigrants and protecting our neighbors. I was a state elected official. I know about New York for all. We needed to pass this yesterday. We should be holding Governor Hochul accountable. And we should make sure that our mayor, Eric Adams, is incredibly embarrassed. Because let's know the honest truth right now is that he sold us.
That's right! Fuck Eric Adams!
He sold us for a get out of jail free card for himself.
Right.
And he took our neighbors and our neighbors' lives and he sold it.
That's right!
He sold
Shame!
us. He sold our city for his own personal benefit.
Shame!
Instead, we are dependent on people who are literally risking their own safety, like Ravi and Brad, to be able to stand in front of us. And we need to make sure I'm an immigrant myself, by the way. But we need to make sure that we are standing up for New Yorkers every single day. So please, please, I'm begging you, if you have the privilege of having the means, having, being able-bodied, being able to have the safety of citizenship, please, please help your fellow Americans to be able to have the safety. We live in a fascist regime, folks. We live in a fascist regime, and we are seeing that every single day.
That's right.
And I am telling you right now that if we do not fight back, we won't have a country to fight back.
That's right.
So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for fighting for Brad. Thank you so much for fighting for immigrant New Yorkers.
When I say free, you say Brad. Free! Brad! Free! Brad! Free! Brad! Free! Brad! Free! Brad! Free! Brad! When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When democracy is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Then what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
All right, next we're going to bring up Travis Morales from an organization called Resist Fascism. Correction.
Nope.
I am Travis Morales, but it's refuse fascism. Some of you may have seen the report on Rachel Maddow on Saturday in the face of Trump threatening us with a very big force if we protested in Washington, D.C. against his military parade. The press is reporting that 1,000 to 2,000 of us marched to the White House to demand the Trump fascist regime must go now. In the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. Do you accept these Gestapo ICE agents kidnapping our sisters and brothers?
No!
Do you accept elected officials being arrested?
No!
Do you accept elected officials being assassinated?
No!
Do you accept this fascism?
No!
Then we have to move very quickly. Every day, they are shredding due process.
That's
They
right.
are shredding the rule of law. They are shredding civil liberties.
That's
They are
right.
shredding all of our rights. We don't have much time. 2026 is way too late.
Too late.
And 2028 is even more way too late. And I've got a question for you. Are you willing to do what's necessary,
Yeah.
non-violently, to stop these outrages? To drive this fascist Trump regime from power?
Yes!
Are you willing to do what they did in South Korea recently, day after day, night after night, until their fascist president was driven out? We can do that here, but we have to move quickly because we do not have much time. I can't say if it's weeks or months, but they're showing us with that murder in Minnesota, those murders, what they're willing to do.
Same.
I want to call on everybody to join Refuse Fascism in the streets of Washington, D.C. on July 1 through July 4th, and march on the White House on July 4th to demand the Trump fascist regime must go now. And in closing, put your fist in the air. In the name of humanity. In the name of humanity. We refuse to accept. We refuse to accept a fascist America. A fascist America. Thank you.
Next up, we have Borough President, Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine.
When I say free, you say Brad. Free
I'm going to say the name of some elected officials, and you will say hero. Congress member Monica MacGyver. Hero. Mayor Ross Baraka. Hero. Senator Alex Padilla. Hero. New York City comptroller Brad Lander. Hero. Every one of them, every one of them a hero. Every one of them exercising their constitutional right, their obligation to provide oversight of the executive branch. An executive branch which has gone rogue, which is tearing apart immigrant families, violating the Constitution, terrorizing hard-working New Yorkers and Americans. Good for those elected officials for putting eyes on that rogue behavior. And they are being harassed and arrested because Trump and his cronies know if the world sees what's happening there, there will be a revolt. Are you ready to revolt? Yes! On behalf of the immigrant families of this city? Yes! On behalf of Brad Lander? Yes! The comptroller will be okay. He's an elected official. We will get him out. But you need to know that there are families in every neighborhood of this city who are scared to go to school right now, who are scared to go to their jobs right now, who are scared to go to court right now, who are scared to go to a hospital right now, who are scared to go to their house of worship right now. The Trump administration is inflicting terror on the people of the city. That is their plan. We will not stand for it.
That's right.
Me da las ganas de decir 2 o 3 palabras en español. Si ustedes me están entendiendo, hagan bulla ahora. Venimos aquí no a pedir, sino a exigir que dejen a Brad Lander que salga de ahí. Venimos ahí a exigir que Trump deje de atacar y amenazar a nuestras familias, nuestros hijos, nuestros hermanos y abuelos y abuelas. Venimos aquí a defender la democracia. Are you ready to defend democracy? Are you ready to fight in the courts? In the streets? At the ballot box? El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Let's do this. Free Brad Lander.
All right, y'all. I have a quick announcement for everyone. All right. We just learned that Brad has been released. Talk to us all. Before then, I want to let you all know there is water and snacks back here. Can my team raise your hands, please? You see those hands raised? They have water and snacks for you.
Meanwhile, we're the
rain stopped. That's nice. We're going to wait for Brad to get here, all right? I want to say thank you to all our speakers today. Can we give it up for all of our speakers today? We're going to bring a couple more folks up while Brad gets out here. Our next speaker is Rabbi Margot.
All right, we were here for the rain. We are here until Brad is free. We will be here until everyone is free. My name is Rabbi Margot Hughes Robinson. Wow, am I a lot happier than I was about 2 minutes ago. NYPD and deported to Poland and ultimately murdered in Auschwitz. We know the danger our neighbors are facing. We do not want to go back to the New York of 100 years ago. We do not want to go back to the New York of today where our neighbors are afraid to go to school and to work and even to the grocery store.
Shame! Shame!
Hospital.
Or the hospital, God forbid. So Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, the Hasidic sage and rabbi, teaches that the experience of detention and the experience of incarceration is not just physical, but it is spiritual and affects our entire community.
That's right!
He teaches that when a person is detained or experiences imprisonment, so does their soul.
That's
Their
right.
souls experience detention and imprisonment. And he teaches that when any one person is incarcerated, the wisdom accessible to the entire world is actually incarcerated along with them. I don't want to live in a New York, and I don't want to live in the world where we do not have access to the wisdom of our immigrant neighbors.
That's right!
I am so proud to live in a New York City and to be raising my son in a New York City that celebrates the wisdom and the strength of our immigrant communities. So I want to end and strengthen our work here today with a line from the Psalms. I hope you will permit me. I'm going to sing it in the original, but first I'll tell you what I'm about to say. Open for me, or open for us, the gates of justice. I will go through them with praise. Let us open the gates of justice, not just for Brad, who's on his way, but for every single New Yorker. May the gates of justice open, may all of the righteous walk through, free them all!
Free them all!
Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! One more time, free them all! Next I'm gonna bring up trans rights activist Queen G.
When I say freedom, you say now, freedom!
Now!
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 No human is illegal! No human is illegal!
No human is illegal! No human is illegal! No human is illegal! No human is illegal! No human is illegal! No human is illegal! No human is illegal! No human is illegal!
That's right. I am so grateful for our community. But we are not grateful for this circumstance. What shame!
Shame!
What shame!
Shame!
We reject Eric Adams. We reject the fascist regime that he is allowed. He is welcomed into our sanctuary city. We reject the notion that immigrants are subhuman, are subclass, are not human. They are our neighbors. They are our children, our parents, our educators. To be civil, It makes you a fascist. In 2025, this year, we have watched infants be separated from their parents, be abducted.
Shame!
We have watched across campuses all over this nation, young students, Jewish students, Muslim students, people of good conscience be attacked, be brutalized by police for demanded an end of ICE raids, an end of occupation, an end of fascism. But the American people stood silent. Today marks truly, this will feel momentous. It will be monumental because they have disgraced a duly elected city leader. Brad Lander is the definition of solidarity. Solidarity does not say, yes, we support people, we support peaceful protests, and then you allow someone to get abducted right in front of you. What shame. Being a New Yorker means that you have unrequited strength and love for humanity. That means you do not back down to any form of fascism, any form of oppression. That means that we stand up and we fight back. What we know to be true is that what happened today will not be the last time it happens. We saw this a month ago in New Jersey and Newark. We saw what happens when duly elected officials stand and bear witness to injustice. They are then labeled, criminalized. What fucking shame? Shame! What shame? That we have got a decorated, a respected human, a father who said, I cannot watch as another person is abducted, unlawfully detained without a warrant. We already know the opposition, they will create more opposition, they will create agitation. But what we do know is that they have paid, NYPD pays $29 million a day of our tax money to brutalize, to abduct, and to facilitate, and to assist in the illegal deportations of New York City. What shame!
Shame!
But I don't know about y'all, but I feel victory's coming in my spirit. I want to claim victory for June 24th. How about y'all? As New Yorkers, we have an opportunity to change what leadership looks like in this country. On June 24th, we have an opportunity to change how our city, how immigrants, how queer people, how Jewish people, how trans people, how Muslim people, people of all faiths, can be proud to call their city their home. And that means you all have to do your part. Everyone has a role in this revolution. Trump and his regime, they have waged terror on the people of America. They have waged terror on New Yorkers. They have waged terror on high school students that have been abducted by ICE. So we will wage people power. When they wage terror, we wage power. That means that we all have to be in deep collaboration. There is alignment here. There is love here. There is no fear here. Brad Lander was not afraid. If Lander
why are you afraid? Will you stand up front and defend your New Yorkers? Yes. Will you stand up and defend your neighbor? Yes. Will you stand up and defend your teachers? Yes. Will you stand up and defend your own siblings? Yes. So that means that you have an opportunity to get out and to vote. Yes. To vote.
Do not ring Cuomo!
Do not what? Do not ring? 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 I represent myself. Don't ring! Don't ring! Don't ring!
Don't ring Cuomo! Don't ring Cuomo! Don't ring Cuomo! Don't ring Cuomo! Don't ring Cuomo!
And just to be clear, Andrew Cuomo represents ICE detention. Cuomo represents corruption. Cuomo is an extension of Eric Adams. So, my people here that are gathered, we will celebrate and we will uplift Bradlander, but we will also make sure that this does not happen again. Our comrades have sacrificed for the past week right across the street. They have stood in the ways of trucks. They have put their bodies in front of the vans. They have made human links, human chains, human blockades. The shameful media had called them violent protesters. The New York Times is even evil. They will then try to sway you to tell you who to vote for. What shame. We demand freedom in this moment. We recognize that our freedom is connected to the very person right next to you. That means we practice real, genuine love and solidarity. Wherever you may be, if you see an ICE truck, you let the world know it. If you see a family that is being detained, you show up and you rise up and you protect them. You make sure we have their name, we have a contact number, because we do not know what evils will happen to them when they are taken away. No one asks what happens to their children, who is responsible for that household, who will answer to these kids now that their parents have been taken. Consider the unknown for a family whose breadwinner has been abducted by ICE. There is time for change. There is a call and demand for freedom, for collective liberation. And that means you will show up. All right, I'm probably way over my 90 minutes. We demand a free Palestine. We demand that all political prisoners be released wherever they may be. We demand that Mahmoud Khalil be released. We recognize it is just a couple days after Father's Day. No, one day. It's 2 days after Father's Day. Okay, you know my math. Mahmoud Khalil was not able to hug his newborn son. That is what happens when you dehumanize, when you are successfully able to dehumanize a group of people. They will make you to fear Palestinians. They have even tried to make you fear trans people. But what we must recognize, the unifying principle, we are all worthy of living. We contribute equally into the fabric of civilization.
That's right.
And most importantly, we are born free. So before I leave your homework, we will activate everyone in our community to show up, because it is early voting. And you will take them, walk with them, accompany them to vote, to ensure that their ranked choice is heard. And finally, we will have an incredible pride, because it is our pride that takes us into the future. Before I go, Dr. King said something powerful. Dr. King would ask, how long? And the crowd and the congregation would say, not long. How long? Not long. How long till we get freedom? Not long. How long? Not long. How long? Not long. How long? Not long. How long until we get our rent freeze? Not long. How long until we get our rent freeze? Not long. How long until we get fast free buses? Not long. How long until we get affordable health care? Not long. How long until we get free child care? Not long. How long until we make a difference? Not long. How long until we make real change? Not long. How long do we send a message to this world that New York City remains the epicenter of love and democracy?
Keep it going for Queen Queen Jean, just a pause. Free them all! 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 Queen Jean just tried to apologize for putting lipstick on her megaphone. I'm never washing my megaphone, y'all. Next, I want to bring up Councilmember Shaker Christian.
That's right, I'm here. Well, I cannot possibly follow that, but I will try. I'll simply say this. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm New York City Councilmember Shaker Krishna, proudly representing Jackson Heights, Queens. That's right. Now, what can we have just heard word, as we said before, that Brad Lander has been released. Let's give it up for Brad's release. Earlier this afternoon, I was at 26 Federal Plaza shortly after he was arrested. And I will just say, to witness what we saw today, what we are seeing every day in our city, across our country, is horrific.
That's right.
That's right. And we know that we are sending the message loud and clear today that ICE has no place in our city.
That's right.
That Donald Trump and his tactics have no place in our city. We are a city of immigrants. We are a sanctuary city.
That's right.
And we know that Brad is out today, but I want to leave you with something that we all know ourselves to. After being outside of Federal Plaza, I went upstairs to the 12th floor to observe court proceedings soon after the news broke out. And I was there with several of my colleagues. We went around the courtrooms. There weren't many in session, but there was one in session with an in-person hearing. There were 4 people there at the hearing. It was an asylum seeker hearing. One of the residents lives in neighboring neighborhood one of the residents lives in a neighboring neighborhood in Woodside, Queens. The hallway was empty before. When I got there, it was swarmed with FBI agents, with ICE agents. It was horrific to watch. Not only are our elected officials being arrested, but everyday New Yorkers, the immigrants, the essential workers of our community, cannot even walk into a courthouse to defend their rights because of federal agents there. Our courts are supposed to be our places of justice. But can we get justice when our federal agents are there ready to arrest? No! Can we feel safe in our courts when federal agents are there to arrest? No! Do we have a democracy when our courts are surrounded by federal agents ready to arrest? No! We have descended into a dictatorship.
That's right!
These are tactics of fascism.
That's right!
Retaliating against elected officials, arresting immigrants. For every Brad Land that is arrested, we are seeing thousands of immigrants in fear,
That's right!
afraid to go to the courts. But what gives me hope is all of us standing here together. We will fight back together. We will protect our immigrant brothers and sisters. And we will not accept a city where we aren't safe, where our courts are not safe, where our rights are trampled on. We will not accept this kind of fascist state. Free them all and let's fight back together. Thank you so much, everybody. When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When democracy is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
And what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
All right, are there any CUNY students in the crowd? Anybody who went to CUNY? Any CUNY professors in the crowd? All right, next I want to bring up the president of the PSC CUNY, the union that represents CUNY workers, James Davis.
Governor Hochul was seen at 26 Federal Plaza, right across the street.
Good afternoon. How many of you have done ice watch? Raise your hand if you've done ice watch in the courts. Let's give it up for everyone here who's done ice watch already. Thank you. We are all going to need to do the training and to be in the courts. Let's give it up for Brad. Let's give it up for everyone who's been in these courts. Let's put our hands together for Jay French, for WFP, for all the electeds who have come out today. Here comes the comptroller. Free them all! Free them all!
rights are under attack, what do we do? When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do? When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I want to thank everyone for coming out here this afternoon. First of all, I want to assure you, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Immigrant ARC, who's the organization. Give it up for Immigrant ARC. They're the organization that invites volunteers down to come and observe the court and accompany people out. I want to say thank you to the New York Immigration Coalition who is out here. And if you have done a shift over there, observing in court or trying to accompany folks out, will you just raise your hand so we can say thank you to everybody who's doing that? I came down for the first time 3 weeks ago, and that day I was able to escort 3 families out of that building who had been stripped of their status and were subject to expedited removal. But thanks to our shared assistance, we're able to go home to their families. And that is all I wanted to do today. Meg and I were able to accompany a family out of the building, a family of 4 with a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old who have 1 week to come back and show why they should not be deported. Shame! So, I want to assure you guys that I am just fine, so thank you for coming out here. I did lose a button on this jacket, but look, I'm going to go home and sleep in my bed tonight, and I know I'm safe, and I have a lawyer, and I know I will get due process, and that my rights will be protected. But Edgardo, whose arm was ripped from mine when ICE agents came to get him, has none of those things. He's going to sleep in an ICE detention facility in God knows where tonight. And he has no lawyer, as most of the folks that we're meeting there don't. And he has been stripped of his due process rights in this country that is supposed to be founded on equal justice under law. And the other person that I saw taken today is a guy who whose native language is Yoruba, but his translator was in French. And when the judge, through that translator, told him that because his case was being dismissed, he had no status. And she asked him, "Do you understand?" And of course he said, no, who would understand having no status? And they also, while he did not possibly understand what was going on, grabbed him as well. And he also is going to sleep tonight in an ICE immigrant detention facility with no lawyer and no chance to present his case that his credible fear of persecution entitles him to asylum in this country, an international right that he is supposed to have. So, I am going to keep coming back here week after week. I do want us to do that in a way that reflects the best traditions of nonviolent accompaniment and bearing witness, because it is important to show up and accompany people and bear witness and do what we can to prevent deportations. And we are not going to give Donald Trump and his goons any excuse for ratcheting up violence or conflict in this city. Let's see, a couple more things. First, was held in a detention room for about 3.5 hours, and on the wall, I gotta get it, I did write it down.
Your Oscar acceptance speech.
No, just I want to get the words on the sign right. Okay.
on the wall they have signs, you know, like you have at the back of a deli that says, make sure you're paying your workers at least, you know, the minimum wage. Unfortunately, the sign in the detention room says, are you detained and separated from your children? Or in Spanish, Meg says my Spanish is bad, but I'm gonna still try. Está usted detenido y separado de sus hijos. Those are the signs that we have on the detention rooms of this building, because apparently family separation has become so normal in this country. They have printed signs in English and Spanish for the people who are experiencing it. And I would just remind us all that in this city, with that statue in the harbor, out of the 8+ million New Yorkers, 40% of New Yorkers are immigrants, are foreign born. Including for what it's worth, the 2 ICE agents who arrested and detained me, one of whom is a Pakistani Muslim who lives in Brighton Beach, and the other an Indo-Guyanese guy in South Ozone Park. New York City is better than this. It is the greatest immigrant city the world has ever known. 40% of New Yorkers now immigrants. 50% of New Yorkers live in mixed status households, including 1 million children. And those are the children subject to family separation when we do it. So we're not just showing up for a few families or for the strength of our democracy. We are showing up for the future of New York City. That is why, though, I came today as comptroller, and my goal was not to get arrested, my goal was to get Edgardo out of that building. It is important for New Yorkers to know that we need a mayor who will stand up and protect immigrant New Yorkers. And I am very grateful. Thank the 5 mayoral candidates who came out here to call for my release while I was there. I only have 5 slots on my ballot, so sadly I'm not going to be able to get all of them on it. But look, obviously the next mayor of New York City cannot be Eric Adams, who sold New York City out. And I will say that I was thinking while I was in detention about the exchange I had with Andrew Cuomo on the debate stage last week, where I tried to ask him about the immigrant subway cleaners that he ordered the MTA to hire to do deep cleaning during the pandemic, who risked their lives and safety for ours, and who he then cheated out of the prevailing wages and health care that they deserve. And then rather than take any responsibility or apologize, what he did gallingly, I mean, I could not believe this, was call them illegal. In my opinion, emboldening exactly what's going on in that building. So he is most definitely not a mayor who will stand up and protect immigrants or protect New Yorkers or protect our responsibilities. Thank you guys all very much for being here. I do just want to say, you know, we have a reminder out in that harbor of what is important. You know, it's, you know, send me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Send them the homeless tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Let's keep lifting that lamp up. When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
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 Thank you all very much.
Attention, please! If I can have you...
Free them all! Free them all! Free them all!
Have a great day. Yeah.
Hey,
What's going on,
man?
Is it done?
I don't know. No? I mean, I think why I was here is done. But there's one more coming.
Oh, yeah?
I think Neil's coming.
Okay.
They were trying to call me, so I'm going to regroup a little bit.
Yeah,
The producers
where are you?
want
Where you parked?
Well, I parked just
Oh, good for you. Smart. Away. All right, well, we'll be right over
step
here.
over this side.
Make sure they get the repeater. Yeah, they said they were thinking about bringing some